So I think the accountability and liability of AI has been debated, and I think, as Pawan pointed out, the jury is still out on it in terms of, and that's an important part, because what happens if some kind of big prediction which has an impact on the life of people? What if the traffic signal misbehaves in such a fashion that there is a massive accident? Then who is to be blamed? I think those are the things that have to be taken care of. And I do agree. And while, yes, India has been a shade behind in terms of it, but I think you will find that some of these problems have not been cracked anywhere in a very fruitful way. So I think we should not also feel so bad that no, we are completely behind. A lot of things. Look at the GDPR, which is the privacy laws. They also matured to a reasonably good extent only first when the draft came out in, I think, 2018 or 19, European GDPR, and when they nailed it down in 2021. That's when we got the first hang of what an end-to-end privacy laws, and they have a big bearing on how artificial intelligence also has to play with the data. So that is one perspective, just as a closing remark on Pawan. But I think it's also very important that the point that I was making right at the beginning, that we use AI in a very generic sense, okay? And I think it is high time that the normal people start realizing that AI is not one technology. AI is not meant to do only one kind of thing. AI is also not just about learning, because machine learning is a subset of AI. AI can do plenty of things. So even if you look at the use cases, they form in the categories of personalization, optimization, detection, prediction, so on and so forth. That means AI is basically behaving like a human intelligence, or attempting to behave like an human intelligence and trying to do something with it. It's not necessary all the time that it has to be prediction. It can be something. For example, these days, I am part of a study where we are looking at AI application with use cases and the potential from India perspective on the climate perspective. A lot of them are very, very relevant for smart cities. Take the example of water resource management. Every big city, every metro is having a problem. The place where I come from, it is a big problem in Bangalore. Chennai, I know, is suffering because of that. Delhi has its own problem, NCR region by and large. So I think AI has demonstrated a visible no benefit in terms of being ability to, first of all, optimize the water consumption, how to manage the water table. If you don't know how much the water table is and how it is getting depleted and exploited, you can't manage it. How to detect, without the needs of too many sensors, where is a possibility of a leak happening, so that you can take upfront action. So you can be an autonomous, you can close the valves and actually avoid the water spill to be happening. Same thing in grid management. Smart grids are being talked about. Smart grids are on the anvil, but I think there is no good way of demand planning and supply management in smart grid. Even India, who was so far leading ahead in the climate talks, because we were going fast forward in renewable energy, solar energy, etc., have started falling behind. Now AI has a big role to play in terms of detecting and predicting how much solar power generation capacity a smart city has. We in Bangalore did an analysis of all the rooftops of all the government buildings, and created a model that if the solar panels are adopted and AI was used plenty in that one, in that whole modeling, in how much likelihood of solar power generation is possible in a city, thereby actually reducing the dependence on thermal energy and other non-climate friendly kind of sources. So potential is immense, but as Sumit had earlier pointed out, we are at the stage one of end stage. We are just about getting the data right, we are just about getting the systems right, and then I think from step by step we hope that we might be able to reach somewhere where everything is smart and things are happening one way or the other in a way that it is beneficial for the people. Now, one thing which I will come back to all the things for a very quick response. In this, what in the social science we call it the quad helix. When we talk about smart cities, also we talk about that there are always four sets of stakeholders which have to work together in making a smart city technology work. Okay, this is the government, of course, the academia, because a lot of research is happening there, the industry, a lot of corporates who are very much deeply embedded into the important stakeholders in creating smart city technologies, and last but not the least is the citizen. Where does it leave him? How much in our solutions are we factoring a citizen's perspective? And that's where I think what Pawan also mentioned in terms of legal accountability, or Sumit mentioned about traffic. Traffic cameras, does it amount for surveillance? Is it the right thing to do? Whose consent has been taken? That yes, we can, even if it is for the obvious betterment, because that is always a two-way fight, whether if something is for betterment, seemingly for some crime or traffic, then is it okay to take photographs outside somebody's house because there is a red light there that I will monitor the traffic? Is that correct? Is the data which is in healthcare sector, is it okay to share with the insurance companies because of something? So how do we take care that all the AI solutions that we are developing have the perspective? And Pawan also pointed out, by the way, of the bias, okay? And as we increasingly go towards more and more AI solutions, how do we ensure that there is no bias between two options that are there? And that is always the case. So I think I just made a few points, and I will just quickly take your perspective, Sumit, first, and then your thing also, Mohan, in terms of where do you see citizens' role into an AI solution in smart city context? Okay, so that because we have now discussed a lot of broader themes.